This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Hello and welcome once again to Super Connectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber wearing his blue blockers.
Phil.
From the Burg of Pits. It's okay. It's okay.
Phil me and Perich. Man, I feel like some random guy.
No, you're not some random guy. You're from the Burg of Pits. I want people to know that.
I'm like, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We love you, Philip. You are the glue that keeps this show running. Okay. Hey, not a lot going on. Talked a lot about some random stuff. A lot of philosophy and questions about what the market will bear over there on Capes and Lunatics. That's not Super Connectivity. We're a fun show. We're going to talk one scene, one 3-second clip in the last WandaVision trailer that came out. Did you see the last WandaVision trailer to come out?
When did it come out? I know I saw one.
It just like last week. It just came out.
I think so. Yeah.
And what I love about it, it's, up until this point, it's always been the same thing. It's the wacky sitcom shenanigans. Although they actually give the WandaVision theme song, which is it's no it's not that they really want to be your friends, but it's still good. It's still good. But one thing that is interesting, it's not really a blink and you miss it scene. There is a guy coming out of a sewer manhole cover, and he's wearing a beekeeper suit.
Oh.
Yes, and it does look like a beekeeper suit, but it is that moment where you go, oh, yeah, beekeepers. AIM. Okay. And there are these qualities that you start to put together. As I've said, there is this scene in the earlier episodes when Monica Rambeau is thrown out of the Westwood, or I believe it's called Westwood or Westville neighborhood that Wanda and the Vision are living in, and you see her fly through what looks like a quantum tunnel, although a larger scale one. But the thing is, if you will recall, the quantum tunnel was a thing that was actually first developed by Elias Starr in this universe. Hank Pym built his own better one, of course made it smaller because he's Hank Pym, so he fit in a van. But when we see Elias Starr's quantum tunnel, it is kind of the size we see. And there's our aimer. There's
a beekeeper, yep.
There's our beekeeper. And it is, I get the feeling, because remember, as has been said, AIM is in existence. But here's where it gets a little deeper on you, Phil. Do you remember who founded AIM in the MCU, or at least who says he founded AIM in the MCU? It was an Iron Man.
Oh, was it Iron Man
3? Iron Man 3. A fellow by the name, he called himself Eldridge Killian.
Oh, yeah.
What did he say his real name was?
The Mandarin.
The Mandarin. And we have seen that for some reason, of all the Marvel shorts that dropped into Disney Plus, the one that is missing, conspicuously missing, is Hail to the King.
Yeah.
And it immediately opens up this possibility. What if, yes, Aldrich Killian was a scientist supreme of AIM, but that the actual force behind AIM was the Mandarin? And the force behind Elias Starr was the Mandarin. And those rogue Pym particles that we saw the Hydra guy escape with at the end of Ant-Man was also working with the Mandarin. What if we're going to see the Mandarin being set up in a way? Because I think they're going to try and maybe when we get to Shang-Chi, maybe try to weave the Mandarin into the. We don't call him Fu Manchu anymore. We call him Sing Tzu mythos. And I wonder if that's what we're building towards here. That this whole.
Well, yeah. And then if the Mandarin's running AIM and you get AIM in WandaVision, then you have a link between WandaVision and Shang-Chi.
Exactly. But more to the point, I actually think here's actually my big prediction. The reason for this is they are using the quantum tunnel to try and recreate the Infinity Stones. And I think this is going to be the idea. Because we do see the explosion of the Infinity Stone. We see that moment in the trailer of Wanda back in Sokovia, back being experimented on. And I do think we are going to get some. I think the Mandarin is going to be our new big bad.
Maybe. But I mean, remember in the earlier phases, we kept getting Hydra everywhere. Maybe we're going to get AIM everywhere, going forward.
Well, but it's important to remember that that's one of the things that has recently been established in the Marvel Universe, was that all of these secret organizations are all spawned from the same tree.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's weird, and I do wonder how Hickman feels about that he didn't get to say it, but that it was kind of clearly implicit in what he was creating, was that Hydra was the offshoot of the Brotherhood of the Shield that was led by Isaac Newton. And Isaac Newton is a super villain. I can do that all day, quite frankly. It's and I love the fact that I always feel bad when they give short shrift to Edison myself, but everyone likes to do that because everyone loves Tesla, even though I actually think Tesla was probably not the best scientist, because he did a lot when he actually worked, but when he had ideas bigger than what he was trying to do and didn't want to do the work to do it. So,
but I think
opinion.
I think your theory works into my theory, where remember I said, oh, maybe they're tricking her somehow. What if AIM somehow, they're tricking her? They're like, oh yeah, you can use your powers. Somebody's like tricking her. Oh yeah, you can bring Vision back. You can create the perfect life. And every time she uses her powers, they're like siphoning off her powers to power that quantum tunnel for the stones.
Well, it's interesting because what it actually gives me, and this is sort of this thing where it's like, oh, I think Marvel's going to try and do it better. Is it kind of reminds me of Dark Phoenix. When Jean Grey is being manipulated by what's his name, Mastermind, to see a world that is her. Now, of course, this obviously isn't a leather-bound romance novel that Wanda. But of course, that's the thing, is Wanda doesn't envision her fantasy world as a leather-bound romance novel. What would this girl growing up in the slums of Sokovia see as her fantasy? Those crazy, wacky 80s, those crazy, wacky sitcoms imported from America, And I think that is maybe even, I actually get the feeling that maybe that is what they're building towards. They're saying, you know what? Okay, so we want to tell the story of Dark Phoenix better because obviously Fox screwed it up like 3 times now. So let's actually look at what happens in Dark Phoenix. let's look. So, okay, so super powerful person like Wanda. Okay, great. Someone wants to manipulate her for the power she brings. Okay, starts building out these fantasies. It's like, okay, well, that sounds great, but what if we don't do, just a classic, bodice ripper fantasy?
No.
Because is that really? That's the thing. It's like bodice rippers. Yes, they are written for women, but is the fantasy having your bodice ripped, or is your fantasy something else? And invariably, it is always, wait for it, the man I can change. The man who isn't quite what Mama wanted, but you know what? I can change him. And when you're Wanda, guess what? You can change him.
Well, I'm thinking it's gonna be more about resurrecting Vision because.
Well, I'm doing a super. First off, having never seen this, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like when they're doing the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what I like to think of super connectivity as is like the pitch meeting I imagine for the film we are about to see. It's like, oh yeah, well, okay, but let's do this and let's do that. And I think the idea is that maybe that's what they're looking at, and they're using quantum technology that AIM has funded, that the Mandarin has funded through its ties with AIM and Hydra. Because, of course, Wanda is a product of Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
And while Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. may be simply two sides of the same currency no longer valid, the Mandarin and Sang Soo is a much older being looking to create a universal world order. So, like, when you look at and even if you go back to the old Fu Manchu novels and the idea of the Asian supremacy model of it, it does build into this idea of of a being and a person and an organization that they've created that is seeking that world domination, but arguably for the good of mankind. The idea of, we will control mankind and then we will make things better, because no one wants to control mankind for petty purposes. Because you can get all your petty purposes sated by controlling, a couple islands somewhere. You don't need to control all mankind for that. But if you want to control all mankind, you usually want to say you have a much more noble ideal. And so I do think that's something that we're going to be looking at with this. I think that there could be these ties in to the Mandarin. And again, it would explain why that is the one Disney Plus thing they didn't release. It is so weird. See, that's always, that's the thing. You can't look for what they give you. You got to look for what they don't give you.
Yeah.
You got to look for the secrets that they want to keep hidden. Because there's something in there. There's something in that. That's my take on it. Maz and I are going to be reviewing each episode of WandaVision. Of course, we as a family on the Capes and Lunatics broadcast, we're going to do a big WandaVision discussion after the first episode drops, and we'll probably get into a lot of the comic lore.
Yes. Yeah, I figured just maybe some background. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, and I think that's the thing with the MCU is that they're comics adjacent.
Yeah.
They know the comics, they know the basic characters of the comics, but they're going to tell their own stories. And I think that's what makes them good, because they understand, and we've said this a million times, they know what makes for a good story. They know the stories that they've told that are good, and they know how to keep on telling them and make them continue to be good. So I like that about it. Beyond that, it's, I don't know much more to say aside from the fact that I'm looking forward to it. And
do So Monica Rambeau is going to be in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I wonder if they're going to give her Carol Danvers comic book origin. Is she going to be caught in some device going to blow up and give her powers, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing and that's always that weird thing where really Carol Danvers in this one got Miss America's powers, where like the machine blows up. But then again, her powers were always the machine blows up. But it's when it's the second magnetron.
Yeah.
It is a different kind of machine. I think it's actually might even be something related to the quantum tunnel. When we get those quantum energies that she gets suffused with, because not for nothing, Philip, do you know where the term do you know what quantum physics really originally started with? Photons.
Yes.
Because it was about how atoms would release a photon as they would jump these energy levels with it. And of course, what is Monica Rambeau's current name?
Photon.
She's all photonic. So the idea that Monica Rambeau converts herself into photons because she's traveling through the quantum realm as a part of working with or actually, I get the feeling, and I'm getting the feeling she is maybe working with Wanda after the events of Endgame, and essentially, and then gets captured by AIM and the Mandarin, and of course, I think if we get the Mandarin in this, it's going to be super subtle at the end of it, or there's going to be some references to 10 Rings somewhere along the lines.
I think once we see that, it's AIM or whoever who has Wanda, and I don't know who Monica's going to be working for, Shield or whoever, they're going to send her in to try to rescue Wanda, probably.
Well, actually, I think she got caught up in it. That's the thing. I think Agnes, who we generally speaking are thinking is Agatha Harkness, and Monica. I think basically, here's the idea. I think that after Endgame, so if we're after Endgame, Wanda, she's not well.
Mm-hmm.
To put it to you simply, she's not well. She exists, but Vision is gone, and the world has changed over the last 5 years. And I get the feeling that basically what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D., which does exist now with LMDs, because all of the scenes in the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. take place before Endgame, which I think is... They really threaded that needle in that timeline. They're like, no, this is what happens in between. So this is how we can actually get like some S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff at the end. And this is what S.H.I.E.L.D. has been doing. And here's where we are now. So I get the feeling that probably Monica and Agnes are assigned to her. And Agnes being, if it is Agatha Harkness, being a mystical being someone who maybe, is sent by Doctor Strange, make sure, I need you to be there for her because she is, her powers are too powerful and that kind of thing, So I get the feeling but they get sucked into what AIM has planned for her. So they're pulling her into this quantum pocket realm to manipulate her awareness of the world. And that they're trying to establish there. And I think that's what we're going for. So that's my prediction. We'll see if it works. I'm not going to say mark my words. No, it's okay. But assuming that it all works out great, then I'll be very happy. Do you want to talk some comic books, Phil?
Yep.
Because what is my favorite, or what is Phil's favorite comic book today? What is my? My favorite comic book today. Oh man, okay. So I'm torn between I'm gonna go Juggernaut.
Ooh.
It was very close with MODOK, but because MODOK has it all. But I really like Juggernaut's story, and yeah.
Can you give us info about the Juggernaut story?
Yeah, I'm going to give you yeah. So D-Cell is a mutant.
Yep.
In denial, and we get what the whole thing is, which is that, as happens with some of these mutants, I don't even know if she accidentally killed her parents or just her parents were accidentally killed when her powers surfaced.
Well, I think her powers flared up there that first time or something. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but it's this idea, since her powers are deceleration, it makes sense that something hit them and her powers automatically kicked in to dampen it, but it couldn't save her parents. So it's not that she killed her parents, it's that she couldn't save her parents.
Or did she slow the driver? Was her dad driver? Did she slow the driver down?
I mean, my imagination is that she somehow managed to prevent. Basically, it saved herself by decelerating her when the driver hit their car, but she couldn't save her parents because unfortunateness. I like the great use of swarm here. Where they're using the swarm powers to send bees in his mask. Everyone laughs about swarm, but you know what? You ever get bees in your mask, dude? It's not good.
Nazi skeleton covered in bees.
Yeah, and here we got the whole thing crashing. I like, and this is where I get my idea about if I was a person trying to deal with superpowered mutants, Krakoa is a great idea because you look at Black Tom Cassidy in this.
Yeah.
Who is, and here's the thing, then this is what it comes down to. Black Tom Cassidy is essentially in prison. And you never think about that. Like, all these supervillains, they're all in prison. It's a nice prison.
Yeah, it's an island, yeah.
Yeah, it's an island, but they can't leave. It's like, no, we have to be on Krakoa because this is our land. If we go off of our land, But, and of course it's like, but of course we got all the beer you could ever want. If you find a willing partner, you can strip till the cows come home. Sorry, Toad. And of course you've got Professor Xavier possibly just always sending the feel-good vibe. In fact, I'm going to wager that's why he's always wearing the helmet. Professor Xavier is basically mind manipulating every mutant supervillain to keep them calm living on the island as best he can. He'll let the Marauders maraud a bit. He will let them live their lives. He's got the whole regeneration chambers, so death doesn't matter, as it were, which is kind of messed up as his own. But this is what I like about this. At the end of it, Kane realizes he's got to do what Professor X is doing, but for people who aren't mutants. And he's going to help all of the other supervillains who never really asked to be supervillains. In fact, they even make the point here is that, a new beginning, but not the Nazi scientist,
Yeah, no.
We're not letting Arnhem in this. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes you, Arnhem Zola. Nobody.
Arnhem getting a bunch of play this week because he was even brought up in MODOK.
Yes, he was in MODOK. Issue 2, MODOK Mind Games. And I'm kind of mad that the MODOK series got canceled now because after reading this, I'm like, wow, I kind of want to see what the heck that was,
Canceled or was I know a lot of them they do like 5 issues now and then call it a day, but
no, I meant the TV series. Didn't that get canceled?
Maybe.
Or was that the other one that got canceled? Who got canceled? Someone got canceled.
It might have been MODOK.
Yeah, I know they did the robot chicken trailer, which you know
I haven't heard anything
did
about
not look good, but you know.
Yeah, I've heard
But if
anything.
the story's good, I don't care if the animation sucks. That's the thing.
Mhm.
And you basically have Tony Stark and MODOK working together because MODOK needs to figure out how to fix this thing. They have to go to the supervillain convention in Las Vegas, of course. Which the idea that the criminal technology show is in Las Vegas, not Madripoor.
Well, back in the 90s, they had one in. It was like a couple issues of Captain America. They did it on that island of theirs.
Yeah. Well, actually, but the thing that's kind of interesting about it is that when you compare that to Juggernaut, where, yeah, the for-profit prison is experimenting on prisoners, consensually even, one could argue. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, no, we take their DNA and we do this, and no one's being killed, no one's being hurt by this. We're utilizing their superpowers to destroy it. It makes you realize that, oh, you know what? Probably people are kind of cool with super science, super villainy, so long as they stay within sort of the OSI and the Guild of Calamitous Intent, so long as you stay in your lane.
And I think it was a parody of the Consumer Electronics thing that they do in Vegas every year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, and that's cool. And then they, MODOK hacks one of the Silver Centurion armor, and that's going to be because essentially the to get into the auction you have to give a rare artifact.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting that like the Silver Centurion armor is valuable, probably because it is just an actual Tony Stark, even though it's an old one.
Oh yeah, outdated tech. Yeah,
it's outdated tech, but it is a viable tech, and it's like it's not, you just want it because you want to put that on your wall, That's my Iron Man armor,
It's not a tech genius. It's like, oh hey, I can just buy some armor and use it,
Exactly, we have, when they go undercover, of course, we have Hydra Harry and Arnim Zola with MODOK.
MODOK dresses like Zola, yeah.
You gotta love cosplay. And then we get the flashbacks to the life, and his daughter who is sad because she just had her first breakup, Breaking up is hard to do. That's one thing we can say. And hey, Hitler's back. Yeah, a lot of Nazis as supervillains in Marvel Comics this week, and kind of parody Nazis, which I think is kind of fun. Of course, I'm sure someone will say it's so political, picking on the Nazis.
And I almost didn't pick up on it at first. Did you realize the PTSD MODOK went through on one page there?
You mean
when he messes up the Serpent Society?
Oh yeah, because he sees them and he blacks out.
Well, back in the day, in the beginning of like Grunwald's Captain America run, yeah, AIM hired the Serpent Society to kill MODOK, and they did.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, one of the many times he's died.
Yeah,
as they point out. Yeah, no, yes, I caught that, and he has that issue there. So that is, oh yeah, look at that. F you, Nazi. There we go. If nothing else, that's your tattoo, kids. Get MODOK headbutting hate monger saying F you, Nazi. That's your next con tattoo. And they realize that essentially whatever these memories are, they are something that is older than MODOK. It's something from when he was George. The first time he was George, and it's been there since then. And then, of course, AIM needs to kill MODOK. And since obviously he already thwarted the Serpent Society, can't hire them again. So he said, we need to hire the last person to defeat MODOK. Who was the last person to defeat MODOK? Gwenpool! Oh man, wait, am I the splash page on the final scene? Yeah. It says I wouldn't have worn my sweatpants, or at least I wouldn't have worn ones with so much sriracha sauce on them. Oh, oh! Look, she's replaced Bruce the Shark with a robot shark.
Yeah, because Bruce the Shark's with Deadpool right now. Yeah.
Yeah, she misses Bruce. I don't know why she didn't take Bruce to unless it's like, no, Bruce can't come. He's not a mutant.
Well, I know she wanted him to stay safe, so she left him with Deadpool. Maybe because Kelly Thompson's writing Deadpool, and they Kelly
Yeah.
the Shark. Yeah.
Fair enough. And yeah, so MODOK also a great pick. You want to pick one, Phil?
Yeah. What about some Iron Man #5?
Iron Man, Tony Stark. He makes you feel he's a cool exec with a heart of steel. Except he's not an exec anymore because he gave that all up. He's still pretty rich, but that's okay. And he's got a old-fashioned suit now.
So what do you think? What do you think about what's going on with Patsy?
Well, I mean, I don't know. But I get the feeling there's a lot of mind manipulation going on.
Oh yeah, Korvac's trying to manipulate her, but then I mean, I like that they even said it's like, yeah, remember she used to be married to Damian Hellstrom too, so
yeah, and brings up all her memories of hell, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, see, and this is it's stuff like this. These are these little hints that let you know this is why God needs a starship, man. Someone made him feel self-conscious about his awesome facial hair. And rather than saying, no, I'm sorry, my awesome facial hair is just fine. He's like, well, I guess I better shave it. Don't want the person I'm torturing to think I look like a silly face. Get a great flashback. I don't know 100% how I feel about this. Because I do feel that electroconvulsive therapy as a treatment gets a very bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
But I also realize how frightening it can be, especially if you are in a psychotic state and they're doing this. Okay. Oh, there's a new Marvel Declassified show on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to check that out.
People should.
And then of course, Tony putting together his squad of, you're the only people I could find.
I liked the squad, but this is the thing that bugs me about it. So we've got Scarlet Spider, and Scarlet Spider, wasn't he in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, in that Conan book, he was there when the last series he had when Peter David was writing it, he was in Vegas. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was going to say. All of a sudden, it says he's working as a night shift at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Like, what?
Yeah, that's a little odd.
That's just.
Things change.
Yeah, just so he'd be in New York for Tony Stark's team. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows how his last, because his arc ended in. He's not in Vegas anymore because that arc ended, and
Yeah.
But what they're doing here with the Trojan horse idea, and they set up basically, you're not telling me they killed Misty Knight. And that's basically what it comes down to. Like, if they killed Frogman, I could buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy it because it's like, oh, why do you introduce Frogman? Give him a neat scene where, oh yeah, I speak sign language with no explanation for why he speaks sign language. It's like, you don't kill this many characters, even the ones you just introduced, even the B-side characters like Gargoyle.
Yeah, but I was going to say,
don't kill them like this.
They're not killing Misty Knight,
No, exactly, and maybe that's to sort of reassure the fans, or to up the ante, and then we see we have Korvac walking away in his Terminator face to go to Ta-2. But yeah, so I don't know what we're building here, but I do feel it's lies. I feel whatever. Great Alex Ross cover though, again, as always.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's just like the journey. It's like, at the end of the day, Tony Stark's going to realize he doesn't need his fortune to be a hero, or, if I can defeat Korvac, I can do anything.
Great. That's just what he needed, a reason to stop feeling bad about himself.
Yeah, exactly. Thor's going to learn some kind of lesson,
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I love the story. I love how the action's progressing. I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to soft sell what a good story it is, because it is. But it's like, you give me these characters, you make me care about them, and then you blow them up. But also, I know you didn't blow them up. That's the thing. It's like, I don't even think they're going to kill the. By the way, I love the fact that essentially. And that was the other, because the last I heard about Gargoyle, I knew he was working at a restaurant. So I don't know if it was the Oyster Bar. So that's the only thing I'm not sure of, because he did actually, the last time we saw Gargoyle was it was a Patsy Walker Hellcat story. And where you find out that basically Gargoyle, because Gargoyle, his other identity actually is as this guy who is a mystic, and it's kind of who's that guy with the demon attached to him in DC Comics? Etrigan.
Yeah,
Etrigan. And so Gargoyle is Marvel's version of that, except he's a guy who kind of made himself into a gargoyle, sort of.
Yeah, he's basically who's a guy. Yeah, he's just like stuck in the body of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he does own a restaurant. And so, but there was a thing where he was trying to work with magics to try and bring his gargoyle self back, which obviously he has managed to do now. But it wound up like splitting Patsy Walker into all of her different selves she's been over the years. And so it was an interesting story. But that was the last time we saw him, and he was working in a restaurant. I love the fact that Frogman is there too. Frogman has had a couple of other gigs. He was working with Batboy for a while, and the Toad. He the Toad and Batboy actually no, he the Toad and I believe it wasn't the Iron Spider. Yeah, I think it was the Iron Spider. Who was the?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Spider. They were a team. They were called the Rejects for a while. But yeah, so he has been around there on the periphery, and it makes sense that he'd wind up working for another superhero as a busboy in their restaurant, And then it's like when the call to adventure comes, is, "Ooh, let me get my super suit." So I like that. I like that he's there. I like that there actually is an argument for why he's there, and I like that he is a part of it. And I don't like that they blow him up at the end, but we'll see what happens.
Again,
of course,
cliffhanger, you'll see everyone's spot.
Exactly. And for what it's worth, Korvac has said, "I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone." So I don't think he would say that and then blow them up.
I remember, Korvac's killed Avengers before and then they've been brought back.
Yeah, I think he's manipulating something. Okay, Thor.
Yes, Thor 11, yes.
Man, Don Blake is messed up. And I'm just going to say this right now. Jane Foster is way too calm talking to clearly Hannibal Lecter Don Blake.
Well, in the beginning, I don't think she doesn't know that.
Well, he's off.
Yeah, but it's like, how long has he been buried? Even if he was normal, it's like, how long has he been buried in Thor?
Yeah. I know you can argue it, but I'm just like, really though? I don't know. I mean, granted, yes, we have the artist's advantage in this that, we get the whole, cutting the steak and eating the steak. Remember, he's evil. So that's interesting. This was one of my favorite bits is Vatataskar.
Yes.
Who is a real Norse god, and I love that. And he is a chaos god, and he is a trickster god, and it's like, hey, you know how we made Loki nice? What if we made Ratataskar, our new Loki, just being a jerk to Thor? And I love that Ratataskar, because he can run all up and down Yigidish Squirrel, because he's a squirrel. Can just go into this pocket dimension very easily. He can come and go as he pleases.
Well, yeah, because Thor's like, get word to Asgard, and he's like, there's no word, there's no one up there.
Exactly. It's fun. I'm
we
going
also
to say this.
I was gonna say we got Thori again.
Yeah, Thori's there because Thori, good dog. And Beta Ray Bill, he has to call. But you know what I love about this?
Hmm.
Lockjaw spoke to Thori.
Yes.
Did they speak in dog talk? Can Lockjaw actually talk? And just does not like to? You know? I mean, that's what I love about Lockjaw. The mysteries and even though we've been told that Lockjaw is a dog, but the fact of the matter is, he's a dog, but he's a sentient dog with superpowers, and maybe he dang well can talk, but it is hard for him. And just to that's the thing. That's the thing for Quicksilver is whatever you want to say about it. It is just that just so you know, Terrigen Mist is a crapshoot. And the fact of the matter is, being a dog who is a sentient being and aware and is treated like a dog because you look like a dog isn't necessarily the best life either. So I think they are working on squaring this circle of the Lockjaw origin and what he said to Thor, what he said to Quicksilver that one time. I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's him casting a spell on her or ripping something out of her.
Or was that him imagining it? I wasn't sure.
Well, because we get this scene later. Because
I was gonna say, but the next page after he does that, he's just sitting there almost all calm.
Well, yeah, I know, but see, this is the scene that makes me wonder if he put something on her, put a glamour of some sort on her.
Oh, maybe.
After she sees, and man, talk about your useless deaths.
Oh yeah, Red Norvell.
Red Norvell, man. Thunderstrike.
No.
Oh, not Thunderstrike. Oh.
No.
Oh no. Red Norvell was actually Thor. That's right.
Yeah.
He also was a Thor for a time. That's right. Who was Thunderstrike? That was
Eric Masterson.
That was Eric Masterson. That's right. Yeah, it's messed up, man. That's all I'm saying. Although I'm sorry, I kind of feel like Don Blake over his head when he picked on Throg.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel like, totally did the classic mistake of underestimating your opponent. Because I'm going to kill all the Thors. And it's like, well, next I will, I killed Red Norvell. Next I shall kill Throg. And Throg is like, son, you don't know.
And plus he's got Lockjaw too.
Yeah, exactly. You got Lockjaw and Throg. I think they're gonna really. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I don't know how long they want to run this out.
Well, I mean, in this one it said part 3 of 6.
So I guess it's gonna be how many? So okay, so we've done Beta Ray Bill. We've did that. We got Throg. So who else do we got? I guess we got Eric Masterson to come in later.
Well, he's dead, so I don't know how they're gonna. Well,
maybe they'll introduce what's his name when his son got the power.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, his son Kevin. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. He must be running around. I think he's running around. But no. But did you see the next issue cover? It looks like him and Jane might fight it out.
Oh well, there we go. So we'll get our second Jane scene. So that'll be fun. So we got Jane, and then we got 2 more issues when Thor comes in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Probably heals him with the power of friendship. Quite frankly, I don't think they're going to beat him down. They're going to say, "Dude, okay, you got stuck in a time loop. Sorry about that."
Or are they going to do the thing where they have to lock Don Blake inside Thor, and meanwhile Thor is going to have to battle every day to keep this darkness inside him or whatever.
I don't know. I think that story gets old fast. Or there's you know what they could do?
Huh.
They could actually just have Don Blake come back and just say, "I'll be Don Blake," or they could build a relationship. Who knows? Maybe they'll actually create a situation where they actually do like the 80s TV live action thing where Don Blake is the guy who holds the hammer and he calls Thor and sends Thor back. But
I mean, I kind of miss him having a human identity. And two, I mean, now it's really going to be if he tries to split time with Don Blake. It's like now he's the ruler of Asgard, or is he going to hand that off?
yeah, no, well, maybe he'll let Loki be king of Asgard. And Loki will be king. Oh no, he'll put Volstagg on the throne.
There you go. Volstagg hasn't had a turn.
Volstagg actually would probably be the wisest and most just ruler of Asgard ever. That's what I always say. It's like what you want in a king is someone who's willing to delegate responsibility to the parliament and throw really good parties. So that's Volstagg to a T.
Yeah, a bunch of them have taken turns doing that one. Odin's been in an Odin sleep. Man, that guy's sleeping a lot. But yeah, I don't think Volstagg's done it yet. Yeah, give it to Volstagg.
Yeah, let Volstagg be king of Asgard for a bit. Yeah, he's been a Thor, so it's not like he doesn't have the bona fides, and he actually is. They have actually been building up Volstagg as, despite his, delights for the food and the drink and the lots of sex with his wife, because he's a happily married man, you temptresses, and their 473 kids. They live a long time. That's what happens when you marry a fertility goddess. I'm just telling you, Philip. See, you never think about that. It was like, oh, I will love you forever, guy. It's like, yeah, well, you better. But Volstagg, he keeps up. Okay. Star Wars High Republic. This is a good one. We get young Devil May Care Yoda in it. Which is interesting because it's basically we have this Padawan. What's her name? Getting her name. I always forget everyone's name after I read it. Okay, but I know that her master is called Skier, who is a lizard being. And he just lost his arm in a great battle. But, don't worry, because it grows back. Which I do love. She is basically going to have her test to prove she's worthy of being a Jedi Knight. And she's got to climb to the big spire and get the thing. But as she's doing all this, there's an attack on the little village of the New Republic. We get this little side story with the building of this great space station, and it is interesting in the dialogue and how it does echo what was said about the Death Star, about building this great machine. And here's our Han Solo Yoda man. In his Star Hopper, traveling the universe, drinking beers, taking names. That's who Yoda used to be, because that's the path that the Force set him on. He's not. I'm not coming back to join the. I'm not coming back to join the council, man. I'm just here to lend my bona fides as the coolest Jedi there ever was. No Yoda. Yes. And essentially what happens is they realize when our Padawan uses the Force to communicate with the monster bugs that what it is they don't usually come to this area, but because of the beacon in the space station that they just built, it threw off their normal pattern of migration. So she has to get them back on the right track by taking the, I forget what they call it, but the shuttlecraft, flying it up and out and ejecting, and it goes to lead them away. She then stays to help build the building, the village that was attacked by the monsters, and then you find out that our Jodie Whittaker looking Jedi here on the cover, she's actually been made the marshal of this region, and she does knight our friend, who also has a really cool bow staff style lightsaber, and she gets to be a Jedi Knight, and it's all looking great. And then, for some reason, because this is a Star Wars book, Skier goes into his room and says, "No!" And that's how we end it. Because, in fact, that was the test the whole time, was not whether she would continue to pursue the trinket, but would she, to get her prize as a Jedi, but would she forsake being a Jedi to save a city? And she did. And now she's a Jedi. And it's so cool. So yeah, I actually kind of like it. This takes place, even give you this nice timeline at the start. At the very start, they say, okay, so this is this is before the prequels. This is the prequel time. This is Star Wars. And they even say like this is where the Mandalorian shows up, or this is where the Mandalorian shows up, and then what's the last part there? Oh, Rise of the First Order, yeah. And so that's our current up-to-date Star Wars universe. So yeah, very cool. Star Wars: The High Republic #1. Told it's going for $35 on eBay. I got it for $4 because I just went to the store and bought it because it's cheaper if you just go to the store. Pro tip: they let you know the comic's coming out in advance, and they can order as many as they like. So if you say, "Hey, yeah, make sure you get me a High Republic," they can say, "Hey, we want 1 million of those," and they're like, "Okay, here's 1 million." Like, great, thank you. Because you see, they print the books themselves, so they can make as many as they want. And if you pre-order, that's how you know that. Oh yeah, okay, now I have the thing I wanted because they make them for you. It's like how you want that T-shirt, and they do the printing on demand. That's like that, but for comic books.
Yeah.
You just do it a couple of weeks before, and you're good, kids. So there you go. So,
hey, did you say you wanted to talk Harley, future state Harley?
You got Harley Quinn, future state. Yes, I liked this book. I don't know what's going on. Is this like another universe? Is this another timeline? I don't know.
Possible future, yeah. So I mean,
I guess 10 years in the future or something. I mean,
you know as much as I know.
Everybody's really young. That's maybe that fear gas keeps you young. I guess maybe that's the story.
Yeah. Like I was telling you before, I mean, this was going to be their ongoing 5G thing before, but now, so yeah, I don't know if it's not way in the future. It's just enough where stuff's different, you know.
Mm-hmm. I know, but it's not like either. It's like neither the Scarecrow nor Harley Quinn were teen supervillains. That's what makes it a little weird. So it's like, or they're like, it's like maybe. I guess they were in their 20s in standard continuity, and now they're maybe, I guess they're 40. So it's like, it's like Sharon Carter kind of old. I don't know, except they're not old. So, like I said, I guess fear toxin keeps you young. The only thing I didn't understand, and first of all, I love the dynamic of Scarecrow and Harley in this. Both being psychiatrists, both being people who deal with people's heads. I like that. And I like that Harley is solving the problems for Jonathan Harker, right?
Crane.
Jonathan Crane.
Yeah.
Oh, Harker's from Dracula, that's right. Jonathan Crane. So yeah, I like Harley and Harleen and Jonathan Crane working through this. The only thing I don't get, and maybe you can explain this to me, Philip, is the whole Black Mask scenes.
Okay.
because I don't know if this is a flashback or who he's talking to about wearing the black mask. Because part of me thought, like, oh, is this him talking to Crane?
No,
Or
at different times, there's been several different points where like Black Mask he'll make his gang wear masks too, like they have to wear masks.
So this is him just saying, you don't deserve to wear the mask. So
Yeah, I think one of his lackeys failed him, so he just capped him. Yeah.
okay, so this is them trying to make Black Mask happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're a DC fan, you go, what do you mean make Black Mask happen? He's the coolest. It's like, okay. I'm sure he is.
I mean, they've rebooted him so many times. It's
Yeah. But I really liked Harley Quinn Future State. I may get them to pull it for me.
oh yeah, like I said, I think there's only one more issue. Yeah, because after Future State's only January and February, so yeah.
See, it's not like that. It's okay.
Right.
I mean,
But they are doing a Harley ongoing in March. They're starting. I think they said this woman writing this is going to write the ongoing. So if you like,
okay, I might. You know, I kind of feel like they got me to like Harley almost in reaction to them creating Punchline, who I despise. So maybe that's what Punchline's supposed to do. Not so much sell Punchline books, but to say, see, this is how bad it could be. Buy a Harley book. I know Lilith disagrees, but yeah, it's I loathe a Punchline. It's don't know who greenlit that. Don't know.
Well, like a little said, I guess there's a certain segment of the population that's really down for Punchline. That
she just got such a lame. It's like first of all, I don't like. Here's the thing. You never felt like Harley Quinn was really a serial killer.
No.
She probably has killed many people in her day, but not because she was trying to kill people. It's like she hit them with a baseball bat. If their neck snapped, well, that's just poor design by the manufacturer. That's God's will, as we say.
And if anything, Harley always struck me as more of an accessory to murder than anything. It's like, oh, here, I'm going to stick you in this chair so Mr. J can do whatever he wants to you.
Yeah, hey, and that's fine. And yeah, of course, maybe that's the empowerment of Punchline. It's like, yeah, but if you're empowered to do bad, that's not good. It's what a world we live in. Anyway, yeah, so those are my comic books. It's been a good show. Do you have anything else you want to talk about tonight, Phil?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Philip, I hope you could hear me okay. I hope all of our audience could hear us okay, but if you have those scratchy dollar store headphones like I always buy because I'm cheap. If you're a cheap guy like me, yeah, you just buy another dollar store pair of headphones. Yeah, they usually only one of the headphones works when you open it, but you can ride that one headphone for at least a couple weeks before you have to buy another set. But here's a crazy thought. Rather than doing that, why don't you go to tweakedaudio.com, use the coupon code Southgate to get a nice discount at checkout and buy some actual legitimate headphones so you can listen to your podcasts in peace. Once you do that, because you were not supposed to be leaving the house, kids, let's go over to huntingkiller.com, use the coupon code Southgate once again, because it's just a coupon code you can use all the time. Get a discount at huntingkiller.com. Have a escape room delivered to your house. It's not really an escape room, but it is a lot of great mental puzzles to help Michelle Gray solve a cold case, and that's fun. And now that it interests you, just go down to our show notes, click on the Amazon link, go to Amazon, buy whatever the heck you want. Doesn't cost you anything, helps out the show. And while there, check out Pod Life, the book written by podcasters for you. So if you ever wondered what goes through the mind of a podcaster, what do we not say on the mic? This is where you'll hear it there. And of course, that's all of our plugs. So, Phil, how can people find you if they need to?
If you want to get a hold of me or anyone else on the team, you can always email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And there's links to all of our various social media, this YouTube channel, Patreon, merchandise, anything involved with Capes and Lunatics. Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics.
And, of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our Maz and Possible instead at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet DuckTales, a woohoo final season, Monday nights at 7, when new episodes come, at Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle. For what?
Quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been another wonderful week with you. Thank you for connecting with us here on Super Connectivity. Please super connect with us again next week. Good night. I like that. It's got a very Doctor Who-y vibe.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Robert Southgate.
Yes. Did Robert Southgate write this, or did he just find it?
He found it somewhere out, yeah.
Well, he found a good thing. Good night.